to GESP Podcast. We are here to reimagine the playing field in women's sports with female game changers. My name is Ruza FA Serbia grassroots manager, sports industry specialist, and former football referee. Let's empower the girls with this episode, and big round of applause for my next guest. Welcome to GESP Podcast. I have a pleasure today to speak with a really special lady. She's everything you can imagine within sports industry. Irena Beleshkovska from North Macedonia is a basketball coach and also expert for sport development, if I said right. But also she's someone who is really dedicated to sport through various development projects, through motivating boys and girls, creating a better environment for them to grow through sports, especially basketball. So I really have a pleasure, and I really want to say that I'm honored to speak today with you, dear Irena. Welcome to GESP Podcast. We're here to reimagine the world of sports, especially for girls, but we will not ignore the fact that you're really involved in the development of many, many boys in North Macedonia.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm really glad to be here in your podcast and to have the chance and the opportunity to talk about sport and women in sport. Greetings from Kriva Palanka, from our basketball club. Yeah.
Beautiful. I really like your background. I know that our listeners cannot see that, but let me tell you, this is something that we really promote the environment you're in. When you think about your sports beginnings, how did you fall in love with sports, and how did you fall in love with basketball in particular?
Well, when you mention falling in love, I'm here in the basketball thanks to my life falling in love with my husband, who was a basketball player, and then after finishing his graduation in university, PE teacher. He started being a PE teacher in high school in Kriva Palanka, and then we promoted the basketball club. So we ran the club 17 years in a row in Kriva Palanka, because he didn't have a chance an opportunity to train in some club here in our local environment. So he needed to go to Skopje, to bigger city, to the capital city, to have the chance and opportunity to develop his talent. And then we together decided to start working in the field of sport and working on a field to create better opportunities and better chances for all the youngsters and all the talents we have here in the city. So that's how it started all. And the next year we have like some promotion as we will be like 18 years next year. That's how it started.
That's really amazing milestone you reached and achieved, and this is really a good example of how men can be supportive in terms of women in enrolling into sports. And this is what we also want to highlight and emphasize in this podcast. Even though we do speak and focus on girls, women in sport, we do not exclude boys and men. We really consider that this is equal chance and equal opportunity as sport it should be. So this is really a good example on how men can be supportive and actually help you fall in love with sports, even though firstly you fall in love with him, but then you continue the same passion, and this is really, really spectacular. But when you speak about that, this really gives me a good way to speak about something. When you started being yourself as an individual part of the club and everything, did anybody consider you there as a wife of a player, wife of a coach, wife of the PA teacher, or people were more into, hey, this is Irena, she has to offer so much, let's wait for her to show what she can do? So how was the perspective of people around you when you started?
Because we are a local environment, local rural city. we almost everyone know each other. So I was involved in into the sport, but I was involved into the club as a organizer, as a manager sometimes, or just organizing the daily activities. And then I started falling in love also with the sport because I was training some sports. I was cycling. I was doing the in the weight room, like doing exercises for my well-being. Then I was recognized as someone who is like doing something good in life, doing something different. And then we, as an organization into sport, I started falling in love with the all the opportunity that sport can afford to all the people that are involved, starting from well-being for health, then well-being and environment for developing every young people and every single personality person that is involved in sport, according to all the things we can learn through sport. Then I started uh, getting some training sessions about my improvement in the sport field, and that's the thing that I'm all the time explaining to the young girls and explaining to all the people and all the youngsters in the sport field, that when you're professional, you have a good trainings, you have a good background, you have knowledge, and you're educated. No one can deny your professionality or your how is it, your competences, how to be good in sport. So then, according to the thing that here at the Balkans, as you know, we usually meet men coaches, men staff in the clubs. Then uh, it started beginning growing up the membership of young girls that were approaching to the club and starting to train in the club, and that's how all it started to grow the number of the participants, number of the young girls that started and continued to train basketball. And according to the first maybe 5 years running the club, then we had youngsters teams included in the national champion youngsters leagues in the Basketball Federation of North Macedonia. Then 5 years after that, then when we had 10 years working in the field of sport, then we had promoted the first league girls team in the senior league for a first time, and we had grown up the percentage that was like more on the side of the girls. We had more than 60% members girls and 40% boys. So it was
Wow,
all
congratulations.
interesting. Yeah,
These
thank.
numbers. And yes, this is very interesting that it any club anywhere, especially in Balkans, we can have a bigger percentage of girls than boys. But you are a really great example on how personal development within sport can actually get you to results at any age. I mean, I am not here speaking about your age in those terms. I'm just highlighting the fact that you really took some time to work on your skills, that you developed yourself, that you were all the time example for all the girls and boys in terms of how you do work on yourself over the road, and how you can become whatever you want. I mean, this is also a good example for girls to think of different roles they can try within sport. I mean, you can start within administration, then you can become a coach. There is no 1 or 2 or 3 years or yes limits, or if you didn't become a coach by 25 years old or whatever, then you cannot be that. That's not true. You can start being coach at any age. You can start working as an administrator at any age. I mean, you also have a university degree, so you working in sports doesn't mean that you cannot be good at school as well. So those are really some good messages and ways how we can motivate the girls around. But you also mentioned basketball back then when you started, and basketball now, especially women's basketball. But when you think of girls back then and when you think of girls who are coming to basketball now, what are the main differences?
The main differences within the girls,
Between girls
yeah,
who
yeah,
came at the beginning of your career and the girls who
yeah.
are coming now, where do
Now
you
the
see the
girls
most
are
differences?
more empowered. I can definitely say they are more empowered because they have more informations about what does the sport mean. They have great examples, not in us, but also in the leaders in the team that have been developing through the
Of
sport
course they have in
within the
you.
years.
You're the
Yeah,
role model for them.
thank you. And
You are the
also,
role model for them.
yeah, thank you, thank you. So we have developed that kind of girls and leaders that they get introduced into the um, national representations in the basketball federation in North Macedonia. They got the experience through the sport. They got the experience through the games year by year, and then they have been role models for the youngsters girls also. So we are not working just sport, we are developing personalities into the girls. We are empowering them, introducing them into the sport field. And now the girls that approach to the club, they have uh, big examples in their environment, in their neighborhood, in the team we have, that they can achieve big things through the sport. So the girls that are approaching now, they know, like they come over to the club and say, okay, I want to come over to play basketball, not just can I try to play. Like they were more now they are more empowered, definitely. And they're informed also according to all the social media that they can approach. But we have a great PR strategy that we promote all our activities through our social media, to other websites. And we have different kind of channels, YouTube channel and everything they can approach. So they're more empowered and more uh, they come maybe curious, but then they really fast get into the things that they can they are like going to the channels that are giving them chances to be better sport active girls. And they know that sport, according to my sport for development certificate, I have passed through 3 or 4 years experience that I worked with the girls from the Western Balkans. um, I also work on some activities and games for empowering and getting the girls more teamwork personalities, empathy, teamwork. I said the teamwork. Maybe
Doesn't matter. This is really important. So we can say teamwork a couple of
goal
times.
oriented. Like they are just having written paths they can get through.
Yes, the girls today are more confident than girls before. So this is really something that is a new generation movement that we can really use well in sport and offer them sport as a place to grow that confidence. And projects like this exists actually to because of that to highlight those facts. And we are super happy that we have partners like European Union to really support us on that road to use the experience from, let's say, maybe Western Europe for Eastern Europe, to follow those role models and leaders. But as you said, we are becoming leaders ourselves, quite often, with our national teams, and when all those ladies who are having a great international basketball career, so they are now those we can look up to, and the girls that can look up to. But also, I do believe that in our region, basketball is a really great sport to gather around. We can always see during spring and summer people going out playing basketball, and this 3x3 movement helped also promote basketball, even though 3x3 is a different way of basketball, let's call it like that, not a different sport.
Like a
But still, it is really
street basketball,
related.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it's really related to what we can feel and see in streets. And but speaking of streets, is it more difficult to develop sport in a capitals like Skopje, or in the rural areas and small towns like Kriva Palanka?
Um, there are always props and cons on the way. You know, we have maybe better possibility to get to to have a better approach to the all the kids. They have um, not that much chances to approach to different basketball clubs, because um, in at the end of the day we are the unique, just one basketball club here in the city. But that doesn't mean that we don't give the best of us, and don't give the best quality of the of all we gave the chance to the kids. And uh, the depends of the area, the economical also development of the region. But maybe I can say that it's a little bit easier to develop in the small cities, in the rural areas, because the kids are trying to approach to everything that they have chance. And then you don't have that wide open frame of the talent of the kids when you are in the smaller region. But and also that's not the measurement, because we have great examples with the work of our club, because one of our best prospects in the men's basketball is now in the University of Washington State in US, and he's final year, finishing the year. He is great prospect, and he's maybe the predictions are that he will be next year, just 2025, on the NBA draft. Andrei Yakimovsky, maybe you have heard from for him, but maybe he's the next
Absolutely,
Jokic,
but
and maybe
it's
he's the, yeah.
phenomenal. Yes, it's phenomenal that you can start your career in Kriva Palanka in North Macedonia, and then move to Washington, playing for your college, and even be considered for the NBA draft. This is really success you should all be proud of, and
Yeah, and
and
also in
and
the girls
really something
example.
to look up to.
Yeah, and also we have girls examples. Dragana Petkovska, he went to the Newberry College. Also, according to the basketball skills she gathered through her pathway. Then we have Anna Angelovska. She's also in US now, first year in the college. And then we have here in the senior league, in the senior team in our club, or in a first league, she is Michaela Aleksovska, 2 years in a row the best youngsters player in North Macedonia, 2022, 2023. And she is the younger from the youngsters that she went, and she was promoted into the senior first team representative national team. in North Macedonia. So we are very proud of them, and that's the maybe the idea of the club when we speak about. And if no one knows about us now, we can say, Andrea Kimovsky, Michaela Sovska. And now they say, he's from there. Yeah, congratulations. So that's the biggest prize for us, because it's the maybe the tough it's tougher when you're in a rural area. You can't just say that the kids that are approaching the club, they can pay 50 or 100 euros per month. They pay monthly maybe 10 euros, and that's 10% maybe 100% or more lower than in the bigger cities. So that's maybe you can't really get paid and can't really have that chance to develop more the institution, and it's tougher to find sponsors, to find people who will support you. But then when you see the the uh, bigger maybe result is when you get that kind of personalities worldwide or regionally promoted, successful young people that are successful, then that's the bigger satisfaction. And that's all. That's
Exactly.
the
There is
only
no
thing
bigger.
that sport can give you. Like you have friends, you
Yes.
have people, you have sport ambassadors all around the world.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we can, but we can also connect that to music. They also can be ambassadors in that way, and art and other areas.
Art,
But as you
sports,
said,
yeah,
the echo that comes from sports is really huge. We can see that through, as you mentioned, Nikola Jokic. I mean, nobody knew about Sombor before he came to United States, and now everybody's speaking about Sombor and horse races there. So
yeah.
exactly, literally, there are no better ambassadors than athletes who are really really successful. And but we do hope that more girls and women are those leaders whose voices can be heard, because then they motivate other girls to join for sports. When you were speaking between differences of a rural area and big cities, I would like to add that actually coming from a small town, it builds resilience in you, because when you move from your little city, there is no coming back. I mean, you can always come back and rebuild your place, upgrade it, help
Yeah.
it. But in the end, when you go further, you need to be super competitive and super confident to stay in a bigger city. I mean, I also believe that moving from Kriva Palanka to United
Skopje.
States, it's
Or
not an easy
mhm,
move.
yeah.
It's a whole different world that you face. So the resilience you build by coming from a small town is really something that can be used well for sports career later on. And those are the positive. But as you said, there are challenges with the lack of funding, lack of sponsorship, lack of media. But at least we have social media nowadays, and we can promote the all good work that is being done, like you are doing with your club. But did you ever thought that you will be that much into sports when you were a young girl? What were your dreams as a young girl?
When I was young, I was volunteering in some radio station. That's why my this kind of conversations and this kind of new type of promoting, like from like this podcast, are something natural to me. And I was dreaming to be a journalist or someone who will be on a TV. And then I was working in a radio as a I was a volunteer, then I was paid. And after that, I went to university. Like I was dreaming to be a Macedonian language teacher, and I finished um, Macedonian literature and Spanish language. Then I finished up like without work after my university degree, and then the club just like this, like clicked. My husband, we were then young, and we established the club, and I totally just like passed through sport. But I was sporting all the time, like I told you, cycling, getting weights or
Yes.
something, and I was always thinking to do something important that the society will remember. And
I wanted to say that the message we can have from here is that there is really something big in wanting to leave a legacy in your environment, no matter the way. Is it sports or you being a teacher or whatever you choose? But this is also a good example of showing that if maybe things are not going as you planned, I mean, you enrolled in university in order to start working as a teacher, but even though you didn't start working as a teacher, you found something where you can be as good as you could be as a teacher. And but when you are a coach, you're also a teacher, so in the different way you found your joy, you made your dream come true, and this is really something you should be proud of.
thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity, and thanks God for the opportunity to have the chance to build some new generations part of their lives. I hope that they will appreciate that, and I'm sure they will, because at the end of the day, the biggest achievement is to have people around you that are thankful, that are good persons, that have lots of capacity of their personality to continue that mission to build up other lives. That will be my message
There
for
is no better
all.
way to finish this episode but with this message. Thank you very much, Irena, for this phenomenal talk, and I really enjoyed and I learned a lot from your example this time, and I can't wait for you to see I can't wait to see more you can do and all those prospects Krivan Palanka will give in the future.
Thank you very much, and I can wish everything good and a good success in your career and if in the project achievements, and uh, come to see Krivo Palanka in life. I can just invite you, all of you that are listening. Thank you.
Big shout out to European Union for co-financing this project as a part of the cooperation partnership in field of sports.